Welcome to Dr. Karen Health Talks. I'm Dr. Karen. And today I thought I'd talk about brain chemistry and health. So it might sound super scientific, but actually I'm going to make it really back to basics and help you understand the body in maybe a new way, that as an actual information network. You imagine we have billions of cells that talk to each other all the time. But these cells don't actually touch each other. You might have heard a thing called a synaptic gap, where instead of actually touching each other, these cells have what we call neurotransmitters, nervous transmitters, or chemical messengers. Let's just call them chemical messengers to make it really back to basics, that pass information across these synaptic gaps, these spaces. And at any given time, we can have a variety of imbalance of our chemical messengers, maybe too much or too little or just the right amount. And actually, everything we do in our lifestyle affects these chemical messengers. And this is what gets me really excited about lifestyle medicine. The food we eat, how we sleep or don't sleep, how we move or don't move. Our thoughts have chemical equivalents. Our emotions are energy in motion. And these chemical messengers are very busy. So I'm going to talk about one particular chemical messenger that you've probably heard about, and that is serotonin. Serotonin is one of the relaxing chemicals of the brain and the body. Most of our serotonin is made in our gut, which makes gut health, yet again, a cornerstone of balancing our brain chemistry. You know, I bring that up every time, every podcast, whatever the topic, somehow it links back to the gut. So make sure you do have my ebook, my free ebook called Gut Matters, and it's at drkarenwolf.org/gut matters. So serotonin, 80% of our serotonin is made in our gut. And when our serotonin is balanced, we feel optimistic, we feel hopeful, we're able to concentrate and focus, think things through. We look forward to dessert. An interesting part of cravings, which I also love to talk about, is that cravings can often be initiated by an imbalance of our serotonin. And one way I kind of know my serotonin is in balance is when I can have a piece of dessert and really savor it and then stop. Because after all, that first bite is really the most tasty part. Everything else is just cravings because the sugar breeds more sugar. So when our serotonin is low, we can feel depressed, impulsive. We can fly off the handle, kind of because we're feeling out of sorts, out of balance. We can be very reactive. Little things can get to us where when we're in balance, we tend to not react so much. And guess what we crave? Carbohydrates like bread and pasta and cereal. So anytime we are really talking about weight or healthy eating, the conversation of serotonin usually comes up with my clients. And there is some ways that we can balance serotonin naturally. So many people, you know about Prozac and Paxil, the serotonin releasing, it's SSRIs, selective serotonin releasing inhibitors, SSRI. So what that does is it keeps serotonin longer in those synaptic gaps. That's how those pharmaceuticals work, and they can work very effectively. Well, there's some also natural ways, not in place of pharmaceuticals, because remember, this is not a medical program, and I do not diagnose or treat. I give you lifestyle options. So in my book, Is Your Lifestyle Killing You?, I have a list of natural serotonin boosters. Things like massage. Oh, yes. Anytime I do the 5-day sugar cleanse with my clients, I recommend you have a massage, body work, friendship, connections, sunshine. So seasonal affective disorder, which happens up in the northern states when you don't see a lot of sunshine, that is caused by low serotonin. So we often recommend that you have full spectrum light bulbs to get that serotonin boost. And Gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. Exercise boosts serotonin, especially exercise like yoga and Pilates, mind-body practices. Because remember, serotonin is the feel-good neurotransmitter versus dopamine. You've probably heard of dopamine. Dopamine I call the accelerator neurotransmitter. It's the one, people that love to bungee jump or jump out of airplanes, they love the dopamine high. It's like the get up and go neurotransmitter, where serotonin is the calming neurotransmitter. There's actually a really good book called Natural Prozac. Joel Robertson wrote that, and he talks about how there are certain personality types tied to neurotransmitters or chemical messengers, and we can be more of a dopamine type personality. They're the sky jumpers. They're the skydivers. They're the people that really love to rock climb and take risks. Or the serotonin personalities, which I would be. My favorite vacation is sitting on the beach with the most beautiful, beautiful blue sea and the white sand, reading a book, enjoying the sunshine, relaxing. That's a serotonin personality. So why does all this matter? Well, when it relates to cravings, which I get a lot of people asking me about, a lot of times people have cravings for these carbohydrates because of their low serotonin. And one way that I will add that a natural serotonin boosters, which has probably made the biggest impact on my life, is selecting certain foods to keep your serotonin high. Now, we make serotonin naturally in our body, and a precursor of serotonin is tryptophan, which is an amino acid. So make sure you have protein with every meal and snack so that you get lots of amino acids, particularly that tryptophan, and then the whole carbohydrates, like all the veggies that you eat, that allows the tryptophan to cross the blood-brain barrier to make serotonin. So a food plan that includes protein with every meal and snack will help you boost your serotonin levels naturally. And again, this doesn't change any of the medications you're on. It's just an additive, a lifestyle additive for you. If you're really wanting to balance your serotonin, feel more optimistic, able to concentrate, sleep better, curb your cravings. And another book that I would highly recommend, because I always love to give you resources, is Kathleen Desmaisons' book called Potatoes Not Prozac. She wrote a great book that has a questionnaire that actually I discussed in a previous podcast all about sugar addiction, where she talks about the science of having a low level of serotonin. So it's not just about willpower that we crave sugar. It's about brain and body chemistry, because remember, most of the serotonin is made in your gut. So now you know a little bit about brain chemistry and health. We talked about serotonin. We talked a little bit about dopamine. I find it just fascinating. The science of this is fascinating. Remember Candace Pert's book, The Molecules of Emotion, when we can take the science of this very high-level chemistry or biochemistry and make it applied to life. I get very excited. So I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. This is Dr. Karen Wolf with Dr. Karen Health Talks. Until next time, bye for now.